Well, konnichiwa from Japan. Here I am at the Tokyo Motor Show, and behind me is a very important car for the Indian market. It is the Maruti Suzuki Swift, or the Suzuki Swift here in Japan. Now this one is the Swift Sport version, and I'm going to just walk around it quickly, show you the interiors and tell you how good this car is. Now from the front end it looks very similar to the current Swift Dzire that we have, or the Dzire that we have in India, but it's a more sportier version of the Swift. Now this exact version will not be coming to India, but something similar is going to arrive at our own Auto Expo in February 2018. So let's get started and figure out how good this car really is. Well, so Maruti Suzuki officially says that they don't have any plans to bring the Swift Sport to India, because this car comes with a 1.4 litre booster jet engine for the global markets. But remember, in India you do get the Baleno RS with the 1 litre booster jet, which makes about 100 bhp, and 100 bhp should be very good for this car. So should Maruti Suzuki bring this car to India with that engine? Because this car does look really smashing. And also, going by our experiences with the handling of the Swift, the current generation one and the last one, a big engine on this car could really make it a true blue keen enthusiast car for the Indian market. Well, so here I'm inside the cabin of the Swift Sport. Now this exact version will not arrive in India, but the design and layout will be very similar to the car that we get in India in February 2018. Now the cabin looks very similar to the current Dzire that we have in India. The big difference, of course, is that the AC vents in the middle here are different. The current Dzire gets rectangular ones. This one has circular theme, and you also get a very different looking set of control for the climate control, the AC controls, because these ones are circular. But the big improvement, or the big plus point, is that they have a digital display in them, which makes them look a lot different to the Dzire. In terms of overall quality, it is much better than the car that we see in India, the Dzire that we see in India. And you also get these very sporty looking gauges, because these gauges have got a nice circular theme and a very sporty theme, and they're also hooded, so it looks a nice and classy car. This one, of course, is an automatic. In terms of overall utility places, 2 cup holders here, big Dobbins. But a lot of motoring journalists have one major issue with that car, and that issue is that the controls for the power windows are used from the first generation car, and even this one has similar looking controls, but that really is not an issue, because if things work well, why change them? Well, so here I'm in the back seat of the new Swift, and as you can see, headroom is more than adequate. Now the front seat has been adjusted for my height, and my height reference is 5'10". The room also is pretty decent, and there is a lot of place where the front seats where I can stretch my feet. So this generation of the Swift is definitely a lot more roomier than the outgoing car. There is a bit of a lump in the floor panel, but that's quite okay, because the passenger here should have decent place, because the footwells are quite big enough. So overall, definitely seems like a better place in the back than the current generation Swift. Also, what makes it better are these huge windows, and people who sit in the back seat in small cars should be quite okay with the new Swift. So the biggest worry that the current generation Swift has, which is limited rear leg room, has been answered, and this car is pretty roomy at the back for your mother-in-law or for your kids as well. Well, one of the biggest design elements on the new Swift are these door handles, which are now on top over here. Now, is it a bit of an overkill in terms of the styling, or do you think it really does look cool? The Chevrolet Beat, remember, used to come with these door handles. That car is no longer in production in India, but for me, I think they look rather cool. Well, let's quickly have a look at how big the boot of the new Swift will be. And in terms of overall boot space, it seems more or less the same as the current Swift. It feels slightly bigger than that car though. I think it is at par with the current Hyundai i20, which is the leader in terms of boot capacity and has over 300 liters of boot space. There is a huge ridge over here, which means that you will have to heave in those big bags and put in your back into it, but that's quite okay, because overall the capacity seems to be improved over the current generation car, and definitely seems at par with the class leaders. Overall, what do you think of the design? Do you think it looks very sporty design, or do you think that maybe Maruti should have done, or Suzuki should have actually done a lot more with it, because it still looks like the Swift from side on. It looks very similar to the current car. It looks very similar in terms of silhouette, but yes, it is a design which looks very sporty, very different. And from the front end, a lot of people think that it actually looks like the Jaguar F-Type. That might be a bit of an exaggeration, but you can Google the Jaguar F-Type and the new Swift and let me know in the comments section below. Well, so we'll get to drive this car only when it is launched in India. This was really a first look, and I think it is a pretty impressive car. The quality is definitely good, feature-wise it's pretty good, and the only issue is it'll come with the same set of engines that the current car has, which is quite okay because they are fuel efficient and refined. But for some people, maybe the Swift Sport is the car that Maruti Suzuki should finally be thinking of getting into India. So bye for now and hope to see you soon.